The NCAA allows pitchers to hit, but it is not required. However, in the National League of the MLB, pitchers are required to bat. This is Matt Roth reporting for Valley View News.
District 12 of San Fernando Valley remains the only district in Los Angeles that has not approved a single supportive housing unit.
Now, the Trump administration has released new regulations on methane gas, so tell us a little bit about that and what your thoughts on it are.
CSUN still isn't close to getting a football team. Nevertheless, some supporters of a team remain optimistic about football being played on campus. This is Matt Roth reporting for Valley View News.
The designated hitter remains a hot topic in baseball. The issue is whether teams should have a permanent designated hitter for college and Major League Baseball games.
I honestly think there should be a DH in the AL and NL because pitchers usually get out anyways, and it just makes them more injury prone.
Some experts believe that there should be a designated hitter required to bat for pitchers in the majors and in college. Pitchers tend to be poor hitters.
Honestly, I think there should be a DH because pitchers are always almost guaranteed outs, and clutch moments, they're just a momentum killer.
Designated hitters can generate more runs. They tend to keep rallies in an inning going. Pitchers, on the other hand, tend to end rallies. They get to the plate in crucial situations, like when there are two outs, then they get out.
I personally don't believe there should be DHs in the MLB, mainly because since the MLB, these are professional players and they should be well-rounded players, and it wouldn't be fair for outfielders, infielders to all practice batting when have POs never hit. In my opinion, there should not be DHs.
Even though some think designated hitters are better for baseball, several fans believe it's very exciting to watch uncoordinated pitchers bat in games.
It's fun to watch pitchers hit. They're goofy and entertaining.
The NCAA allows pitchers to hit, but it is not required. However, in the National League of the MLB, pitchers are required to bat. This is Matt Roth reporting for Valley View News. California State University Northridge is considering whether the school needs a football team along with a new stadium.
Building a stadium could work, but it would be at the expense of the baseball team because we'd have to replace the field with the stadium, and our baseball team's pretty good.
If CSUN wants a new stadium, the university will have to find a place to build it. Land surrounding the campus is limited.
Personally, I don't think we should have a stadium built because we don't have the fan base around here for that, so we wouldn't really make a lot of money, we would lose money, and we don't have the land to build that on.
If a stadium holding thousands of seats is built, some residents and businesses will be affected. Some apartments, homes, and buildings will be torn down.
Honestly, I think it would be a good idea to have a football team. It would be cool, but I don't see how it would work out. They would have to get rid of apartments, homes, and businesses, and I don't think that's fair. And honestly, I live close to the school, so I probably wouldn't even have a home.
A football team might bring a lot of fans and more money to the school, but it will have to cover costs for building a new stadium.
I'm for building a football stadium at CSUN because I think having a football team is important. It brings the college community together, and having that connection is great.
CSUN still isn't close to getting a football team. Nevertheless, some supporters of a team remain optimistic about football being played on campus. This is Matt Roth reporting for Valley View News.
Hello, and welcome to On Point. I'm Matt Roth. Homelessness in the Northwest Valley is worse now than it ever has been before, and the city is struggling to explain the causes and to find the right solutions. Lack of affordable housing is definitely one of the main culprits, but even after voters approved Proposition HHH, the $1.2 billion bond measure, District 12 of San Fernando Valley remains the only district in Los Angeles that has not approved a single supportive housing unit. One veteran says homelessness is an issue of personal responsibility as well as a lack of leadership.
I basically wound up, I got hurt on the job. I'm an operating engineer, and I've been homeless about 8-9 years now, I think. My wife, she thinks 13. I just looked at it as my error. I don't like fault and blame. They're negative, and that's all they ever produce is negative results. I believe in responsibility. That's what I believe in. And I feel that the government here, our government leadership and on down, is not responsible. They're not being responsible for any actions that they do.
National Alliance of Mental Illness Associate Ted Beauregard says those who live on the street are often facing legal complications and are forced to move out by government officials and law enforcement.
I know the police have been around threatening him that he better leave, and he wasn't really sure how serious to take that, but I guess, I don't know, from what I understand, the police gave a pass to July. they made it kind of green zone everywhere. And when August came along, I know there were a string of motorhomes over here on Burial, expired registration and all those motorhomes and that kind of stuff. So they had to scatter. Now they're all over the place, and so it creates littler troubles all over the place instead of consolidation.
In Los Angeles County, it's and all over the nation, really, it's the property management companies. They are probably the middlemen that are bending a lot of the laws. There's 1,000 units within 6 blocks here going up. Townhouses, apartments, luxury condos, luxury apartments. They're furnishing out of 180 units, 5 units for low-income affordable housing or even Section 8.
Research by the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority found that only 29% of the homeless population had either a mental illness or a substance abuse disorder. But this week, the Los Angeles Times reported about 67% of the homeless population was either mentally ill or addicted to a substance. On Point's Rudy Aguado has more on the story.